guys, Ben Morrow here with Roof Tiger and Solar Panther Roofing and Solar Company in Central Illinois. One practical thing I do to keep my employees motivated is know them. Know them as people. If you're sensing some burnout or sensing a change in behavior, take them out to lunch. Just say, hey, work aside. What's going on? How can I help you be more motivated, more productive? Is there something going on in your personal life that's leading you to a change in behavior? Get to the heart of the issue, and they'll talk to you. And if you know your employees well, you can change the incentive structure to match that. So if they need a couple days off, give them a couple days off. If they need more money, maybe give them in advance and say, hey, let's target these goals the next couple days, and here's $500 extra to keep you motivated. Know your employees, know what incentivizes them, and act accordingly.
Benny Fisher, Big Fish Contracting here in Pittsburgh. One thing that we've done to really help motivate our employees and make them more productive is we split them up into teams, and we do morning huddles with each team, and somebody leads those huddles every week. So we have a sales huddle. We have all the sales guys get on. What happened yesterday? What do you got going on today? What's working? What's not? If there's any updates or anything from the company, those can get discussed there. So that way everybody hears everything that at the same time, and that way everyone can stay in the loop. Everyone can stay energized. Everyone can stay motivated, and do the same thing with your operations team and get everybody on the phone. I recommend doing a Zoom, and they can do it on speaker if they want to, do it while they're driving to work or when they get to the job site. Same time every morning. We usually have our operations meetings at I think 6:50 in the morning, and our sales meetings at 7:50 in the morning, and make sure that someone else is in the group running those meetings so that way they can learn a little bit of leadership.
What's up, guys? Dave Taggart here with A5 Roofing, following up with y'all to drop a little bit of knowledge on you today. Something that we do while we're out doing our marketing events, signing up homeowners in neighborhoods that we're building a ton of roofs in. To keep my guys motivated, I dedicate from 3 to 4 o'clock this little thing that I call 5-minute follow-up. And it's a real simple task. An alarm goes off at 3 o'clock, and I call each one of my team members, every person that helps me build inside of this organization, for 5 minutes of every day. They get direct contact with me, the business owner, so that way I can get a list of things that they need me to execute on so that they can be more profitable, they can be more successful, and they can close more deals out in the field. This is 5 minutes every day where my team gets my one-on-one attention so we can solve problems and close deals.
One way to make employees more productive and more motivated is to remove the things that make them unproductive and unmotivated. So a good example in any business is appointments. It's a part of life, especially in sales. If you're booking appointments with people, there's a chance that people are not going to show up for those appointments, or they're not going to be ready for those appointments, or they're going to need to reschedule those appointments. One thing that human beings tend to do is think, this appointment was booked, they're obviously going to show up, right? They obviously want to have my thing, right? I'm the most important thing in their day. Wrong. Customers are going to miss and delay and reschedule appointments all the time. And it's a huge drain on people's emotions when this happens. And so if you can use a tool like Kixie or Proline to automate appointment confirmations so they can send the customer a text message an hour before the appointment saying, hey, this is just a reminder of your appointment. Has anything changed? Are you still showing up? And when the customer texts the system back saying they're not coming, well, guess what? That teammate can now go spend an extra hour of their day doing something fun like this rather than showing up for an appointment and not actually having the customer show. Now, of course, they could do this themselves by manually calling the appointment and manually texting the appointment. But guess what? If you're trying to maximize the productivity of your team, they should be on an appointment or in a call when that other employee or that other contact is probably waiting or delaying or needing to reschedule, the dog's barking, the kid's crying, and something changes in their life. They would have to either have another whole person doing those confirmations for them at a cost of a couple $1,000s a month to just be around calling and confirming appointments all day, or your sales rep or your teammate has to do that confirmation themselves, which now adds to the amount of context switching in their day. So the best way to make employees more productive and more motivated is to remove the stuff that makes them unproductive and unmotivated. You just simply get more by removing the things that stop what you're trying to do.
What's cracking? It's your boy Deshaun, the hustler of all hustlers. So if I had to give you one actionable tip, right, to keep your guys motivated and make them execute, the thing that I believe helps most people execute and stay motivated is information. It's not getting people hyped up and screaming and the rah, rah, rah. It's giving them new skills, tips, and tricks that can actually go out into the marketplace and use those, because first comes the action, there comes the motivation, right? But first you need information. So I believe when you're teaching people new stuff, they get excited. Why? Because they got new skills they can go use into the marketplace to get them new results. And as you get more results, you stay motivated and you execute. So I'm a firm believer, give them information. Information changes situations, and that'll keep them motivated, baby.
Reverse engineering your goals. The best example that I can give for this, Tiger Woods says that he works from the whole backwards. So essentially he's working from the goal and working his way back. So how can you reverse engineer your goals? Like bringing that into actual steps. Well, I was a contractor for many years. And one thing that I did with our appointments, with our sales appointments, is that we didn't wait for the sales reps to dictate when those appointments would be. We had goals and we translated those goals right into the calendar. So for example, we had goals. If we had a goal to sell a certain amount of jobs per month, then we would figure out, based on our closing ratio, how many appointments that would take. And then based on the average time that it takes all of our sales reps, like during their appointments, their sales appointments, then we would figure out how many sales reps we would need to run that amount of appointments. Then we would figure out how we would get the leads, how many leads we would need, and how we would get those leads, like how to dedicate our marketing resources. If there's people knocking on doors, we knew how many people we would need to do that. And then we would just insert everything right into the calendar. Even if we didn't even have the sales reps yet, we would schedule the appointments, the time slots, the dates and times of all the appointments that we wanted to run. So we figured out when we could put them, what days, how many per day, how many reps that we would need. And then we would essentially go and hire that amount of sales reps and fill in those slots, and then just start inserting the appointments right in. So if we set the appointments for the reps, which I would always prefer in my particular role, I know people do it differently. There's a lot of sales reps that go do their own leads, obviously. For those sales reps, then you should be implementing a plan like this yourself on your own. You could essentially figure out how many sales you're looking to make, how many appointments that's going to take you based on your closing ratios to make those sales, and then insert those appointments right into your schedule before you even have them. That was so huge for me. And I've carried that on in my life for many, many years, over the 23 years that I've been in this industry, and everything that I ever do. I decided to do a training course, and I decided how I wanted that to happen, and then I worked my way backwards from there. I decided that I wanted to do live training events. I decided, where I wanted to do them, and I put those dates and times right into the calendar and scheduled them before I ever even announced that I had live events that were running. And so, for me, mindset is everything. And, I decide first what I'm going to do and then work my way backwards. And it works for me.
Hey Tim, happy Friday. This is Aggie from RRCA Roofing, and I want to provide you some tips on how I can keep the RRCA Roofing staff and salespeople motivated and productive. One main factor as a lead generator is to make sure the leads that I give are qualified, and to make sure they are, I want to get feedback and communication from staff. Every single lead, whether it be a handshake of interest or actual making an appointment, is a potential customer. So what I do is I qualify those leads to make sure they lead into appointments. So the communication is almost like an assembly line from my end down to the sales and final production line of building the roof. So how we keep harmony at RRCA Roofing is we have an assembly line of communication. I hope that helps, and if you guys need any more tips on lead generating or keeping things flowing, reach out to me, Agatha Hall, on Facebook or Instagram, also known as the Godmother of Roofing.
Hey, Jen Silver here, president of Roofing Utah. I just wanted to give you a couple quick tips on how to have more productive employees and retain them long term. In my experience, I found if employees are not productive, it's usually one of two things. Either one, they're in the wrong job for their skill set, or two, they're unhappy with the culture and the environment. Making sure that you either move positions or let people go quickly so that other people don't see that complacency or that lack of productivity is really important. And secondly, you have to make sure that you're nurturing a culture that is employee driven, where you're helping them reach their goals, and not just the company goals, but their personal goals. Doing employee events, recognition, contests, all of the different things in order to keep them motivated. So there's my couple quick tips. Hope you have a great day. Thanks.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Tom Sovich with Open Box Roofing out of Indianapolis, Indiana. I want to talk a little bit today about how I keep my team motivated and keep them productive. I think first and foremost, for me, it's getting out in the trenches with these guys and showing them that I'm willing to go out there and put in hours and work hard right alongside them, whether if it's going to knock doors with them or going out to roof inspections with them. I like to go on ride-alongs with them, meet customers, go to appointments with them, help them close if they need it. Just really doing anything that I can to be by their side and show them that I have their back. And I think that truly kind of motivates them and keeps them going and keeps them engaged because they buy into the culture around here and our team, and they want to have everyone's back and they don't want to let anyone down. Culture is big around here. And then finally, I'm always asking these guys how I can help them. What can I do to make your life easier? What can I do to make your job better and help you be more successful? And I think that asking them how we can help serve them, as owners, as their boss, goes a long way with these guys.
Look, we've all worked places where we've been told what to do, but not necessarily why to do it. And we probably didn't ask why because of all the times that we did ask why and somebody said, because we told you to, right? So listen, it is important for us not to do these things with our team members. See, our team members need to know why what we're doing matters, from the smallest tedious tasks, such as replacing a dump trailer tire on the way to the dump that just went flat, all the way to the numerous follow-ups that are required to acquire a customer. These things, they have to have a why behind them, okay? It'll make them buy into what they're doing so much more. Every little thing will matter that much more. The one way that we do that here is we've partnered with Habitat for Humanity in 2014. We've been donating 4 roofs per year, and we had the executive director come into team meetings and talk about how what we're doing is impacting the community here locally. The other thing that we do is we make a strong commitment to being the best in our area. And what that does is it changes our mindset. It changes our mindset from a place of, okay, I need to do my job to do my job. Now I need to do my job and go above and beyond, because if I don't, one of these prospects, one of these customers, neighbors, or somebody I know is going to end up with a less qualified contractor who's not going to do as good a job. And therefore, everything that I do that may impact our customer acquisition process, I must be doing at a high level because it is my moral obligation to serve our client. It is our direct responsibility to make sure that we're serving our client. That is the message you need to communicate to your team. Thanks, guys.